what's up? It's me, Indy, and so today I really wanted to talk to you guys about something. Actually, I'm gonna take this off because it's kind of hot. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that is kind of ruining my life a little bit, or a lot. I made notes because this is kind of a long topic, and I've got a lot of talking points, and I don't want to forget anything. So, I've literally got so many. This is probably going to be a really long video, so I apologize. But also there's a lot to cover here, so let's talk about anxiety. What the fuck's anxiety? Why is it such a problem for some people? Anxiety is basically when your flight or fight response is triggered, and for most people, that can happen during a lot of different things, if there's a big test happening, or life or death kind of situations, or something really high stakes, that kind of thing. That's when anxiety is normal and helpful, and it's what helps us do shit that we need to do sometimes that we otherwise wouldn't be able to. But when anxiety starts to come on, there's a few things that start happening for people. And when it's a fight or fight response, flight or fight response, it's really, you don't really notice it. I mean, you do, but clearly it's not the forefront of your mind. You're not really paying attention to how your body's feeling. You're just trying to do that thing. But when it happens, what usually, at least for me, this has been my experience, and a few other people that I've discussed, so I feel fairly confident that this is relatively normal. So, when anxiety starts to come on, you start getting an increased heart rate, your palms start getting sweaty, you start shaking a little bit sometimes. That's where the phrase shook comes from, by the way. You're shook, meaning you're literally shaking, meaning anxiety, meaning holy shit. That's what that means.
Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface it's calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now, everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Okay.
Where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, that verse. I just casually rap some Eminem. That was probably really bad though. I was not prepared for that. I just totally won that. That right there. I was not planning to do that. Arms are heavy. Wait. Palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. That's another thing that happens when anxiety comes on. Vomiting happens. A lot. That's why in TV shows and stuff, if something big happens and a character's freaking out and then throws up, that's making a joke about anxiety, because they freaking out and they're fuck, gotta throw up now. And same. So that's normal anxiety. That's what you're supposed to get. You're supposed to feel those things when there's life or death situations happening or really high stakes stuff. But when you have an anxiety disorder, you get all those feelings during times when it's not so high stakes or it's not life or death. But the problem is, you logically know that. If you're the one having that anxiety come on, you logically know the fact that there's a guy walking across the street right now is really not actually a life or death situation. You're fine, probably. And I mean, if a life or death situation happened, that's when it would have to kick in. But because you probably had terrible previous experiences that might have started that way, now that's when you see something like that, that's going to be a trigger, and you're going to be like, oh shit, this other terrible thing is going to happen next. So I got to be prepared even sooner so I can just be ready to like get the fuck out of here or whatever. And that's how your body is thinking. That's like what your body is preparing for, because you see things when you have a mental disorder like this, you see things through a lens. You see everything purely based on your past experiences or the way that your disorder makes you interpret things. And so it's really hard to distinguish, like, engage a situation sometimes when you have a problem like this. I struggle with this like constantly. I can't go into big crowds. I can't go to parties. Parties are not my thing. I like just more than 10 people is like a lot for me. And I mean, logically, I know I'm gonna be totally fine. I'm probably gonna have fun. It's gonna be great. But I mean, like, it's still just like super nerve wracking. And when my anxiety is super bad, like it has been recently, like even seeing one person, especially if it's someone I haven't seen in a while, or it's someone I'm not super, super close with, or something, like that's just, I literally start vomiting because it's just so overwhelming. And it's really unfortunate because logically I know it's fine, but no matter how much I tell myself, like, you're fine, it doesn't matter, your body doesn't listen to that. You know, like, once it starts, it's pretty hard to, like, get it to chill just by saying, like, you're fine, there's nothing wrong happening. That's not gonna help. Like, it's just not. I wish it did, but it's just not. That will help when you don't have an anxiety disorder and you're freaked out about a test or something and your friend's like,
Hey, dude, you'll be totally fine. You've got this. Like, you studied, you're good. You're just having, like, you're just stressed out. Like, it's fine.
that's one thing. And in that case, that probably would help. But if you're someone who has like social anxiety like me, and I'm going over to see a friend or something, or I'm going to a party, and someone's like,
Hey, like, there's nothing to worry about. Like, you're totally fine. Like, there's no reason to freak out. Like, you don't need to be worried, blah, blah, blah.
and it's just like, I fucking know that. Thank you. I'm aware. That's not the problem. Like, that's my little social anxiety introduction. And now I'm going to talk about how it's really impacted me and honestly how it probably impacted like our little community here, which I do really want to apologize for because until I went to treatment, I wasn't aware how big of an issue it was. And I wish I had known sooner because then I would have been able to address it sooner and I wouldn't have come off as such a bitch. Because I know I did. And I still do, definitely. It's kept me from doing like so many things I desperately wanted to do and still want to do. It stopped me from having meetups with you guys all these years. It stopped me from traveling. It stopped me from different job opportunities or just opportunities just different opportunities in general. Like, it's just so crazy because it doesn't matter how much you want these things, like if you don't have a grasp on your social anxiety and you're not aware of what's going on and you can't name that and be like, it's just my social anxiety, it's my social anxiety, I still want this, there's not actually anything bad happening, I still want this, it's just my social anxiety telling me all these things. Like, unless you can do that and separate your social anxiety from your actual wants and needs, like, it will really hinder your whole fucking life. Like, it really will. And that's the other problem is it's not really addressed, it's not really talked about, it's really a thing that's swept under the rug most of the time. And so people don't know how to address it because they aren't aware that they even have it. But that's why I'm making this video, because I just want to inform at least my little group of people so that hopefully you guys can inform others and then we can spread this information and more people can just be more considerate of anxiety and understand like what's going on when someone starts acting super fucking weird or like has to just dip the fuck out of a place or just like disappears or doesn't text you back or whatever it is. Like now you know why that is, and then you can hopefully just take everything with a grain of salt and a little bit of understanding, and just try and put yourself in that person's shoes before you make a judgment or react aggressively or negatively or anything. So that's why I'm making this. It's really fucking hard to stay connected to people. It's hard to make phone calls. If you're on the phone, it's really hard to like know what you're gonna say. It's hard to like have like full interactions with people because you're just talking on the phone and like you don't have like the whole facial thing happening there, which is why texting is really nice actually, because of emojis and stuff. And personally why I fucking hate phone calls, and unless you are literally my girlfriend, that's the only time I really like doing phone calls. Otherwise, like, it really just gives me so much anxiety, and I would rather you just text me because that way I'm actually going to respond. I'm actually going to be able to have an actual conversation with you because I'm not going to be just having a bunch of anxiety the whole time. You cannot predict everything. Like, you're not just talking to a camera, you're talking to another person who will respond to you, and you cannot predict what they're going to respond. The thing about anxiety is it comes with a lot of fucking paranoia. And that's another thing that makes it really difficult about staying connected with people is a lot of the time this paranoia will make you think that they hate you. Everything you do is fucking stupid and annoying, and everyone hates you, and they don't want you to be here, and that's why they haven't texted you or called you or anything. And so you should probably just leave them alone and never talk to them again because they hate your guts. And if you talk to them, they'll make fun of you, even if it's your best friend that you talked to yesterday. Like, it doesn't logically make any fucking sense, but that's kind of the point. And I think why people call us crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It really fucking doesn't. It does not. Like it's stupid and annoying, and there's not always a fucking rhyme or reason for it. Sometimes it's just a fucking chemical imbalance in your brain, and that shit happens, and your brain fucks with you and tells you things that you don't want to hear, like all the time on repeat. And eventually that's gonna get to you, and you're gonna probably take it seriously and be like, yeah, they probably fucking do hate me. So I'm just gonna not talk to anyone because they hate me. So why would I text them? Why would I be the first one to reach out? Why would I, make an effort to go see them and stuff? It'll probably just end up badly anyway. That's like the thought process that kind of happens, at least for me. The other thing is if you have plans or something and a panic attack sets in, plans are just done. Plans just got killed. That's why people with social anxiety tend to be really flaky and cancel plans a lot and stuff, because panic attacks set in or the anxiety gets really fucking bad and it feels like it's gonna turn into a panic attack. You really cannot focus on anything else at that moment if you're on the verge of a panic attack or having one. Actually, I think I'm probably gonna do a different video on panic attacks. This is just gonna be about anxiety, just because I feel like panic attacks are a whole nother thing, especially for me because I'm also diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and panic disorder. So I've got like a lot of things happening. Sometimes it makes it impossible to leave your house because you don't know if you're going to run into someone you don't want to see, or someone that hates you, or you just don't know what'll happen. Anything could happen. That's the problem. Like, you can't predict that shit. So, I mean, like, that's just, like, you cannot prepare for that. You can prepare for staying at home and watching TV all day, though. You can prepare for sitting on your computer and working all day. You can prepare for watching your pets. You can prepare for cleaning the house. But that's only going to take you so far in life. And I think that's for me been like the biggest struggle, is because that's my comfort zone. Like that is definitely my comfort zone. And I have a really hard time pushing myself like past that comfort zone, but I'm really trying. I mean, like you guys have been with me. I've moved out a few times and it's been like good at first and stuff, and then I like shut down. And so I think, at least for me, I've learned I need to live alone so I can have my comfort zone. I need like my own safe space where I can go and have my panic attacks and have my anxiety and stuff, and there's not going to be anyone there. And at the same time, I need to be able to like have friends over and like live my life, you know? Because I'm 21. I'm almost 22. And I haven't even gone out to a bar to drink or anything because my social anxiety is so bad. Like I haven't gone out to any clubs. I haven't done any of the fun things. Like I really haven't. Like I've bought weed. That's it. It scares the shit out of me, that many people in one place. Like you just don't know what'll happen. But I mean, I want to apologize for you to you guys about that too, because I've promised meetups like quite a few times, and it's something that I really really want to do because I just think it would be really fun. I mean, I would have to do it in a very safe and planned out way just because of my stalker situation, which, by the way, I have not heard from him since I got out of treatment. So it's been about 6 months, but I mean, that's been a while, but I'm not comfortable enough yet with that whole situation. It's something I really want to do and I want to work towards it. And so I'm hoping that once we get my YouTube bigger and like actually more set in stone, and I've actually been doing this for more than just like a month or half a month, I really want to do some meetups with you guys. I really want to do just like, I just want to hang out with you guys because you guys are super cool and like you've helped me through a fuck ton. And honestly, part of my like huge anxiety about meeting you guys is that I'm going to just disappoint you. That I'm not as cool as you think I'm going to be. And that I am going to show up and I'm just going to get fucking sick because of the anxiety and I'm going to just go puke. And then I'm going to have no fun and everyone's just going to be really disappointed in me because I just got sick and had to go, and then everyone's going to fucking hate me. Those are the thoughts that go through my mind when I think about having a meetup. I really enjoy YouTube because I feel like it gives me a place to speak where people are going to actually want to hear what I'm saying and they'll actually be able to listen to what I'm saying because, you know, it's just like an uninterrupted video of me talking to you guys. And the other thing I really enjoy about talking to you guys through a video format is you get my voice, which has the inflections and everything, because I'm really fucking sarcastic and I joke a lot and I make terrible jokes. And I'm like, my sense of humor is really bad. And also, I get really passionate about things and then it makes it seem like I'm pissed off or being a bitch or something, and that's like really not the case. Like I'm just fucking excited and then I like get hyped and I get loud and I like get really aggressive about it because I'm just like, fuck yes, let's do this, like let's do this thing, like I'm so stoked. But then I'm like, okay, need to chill. Like people don't get it, but that's what I like about YouTube is that I can be that way and you guys are gonna see that instead of it coming through a text format. Plus you've got like the body language and everything, you got the facials, you got like all the stuff that goes along that's really fucking important for communication. You need to have face-to-face communication of some kind. Even if it's over the internet, face-to-face conversation is really the way to make a connection with people, which is why I wanted to do to YouTube, because then I can make a real connection with you guys, which I feel like I've been lacking on since I stopped camming. It is something I really enjoy, but it doesn't necessarily attract the kind of people I always want around me. It's not always the most supportive group of people. And so that's why I'm just really excited about being part of YouTube now and, working on creating our cute little community. And we need to think of a name for it. Think of a name for it, guys. What should we call ourselves? Tell me. Drop a comment below if you can think of a cute name for our little crew. I'd love to hear it. Now, here's some really important stuff that you guys should know. Here's what to do if your friend has anxiety, because I know that happens a lot. Like, I know for me, like, being in treatment, I've seen a lot of friends who have anxiety, and you're like, oh my god, like, all I want to do is help them, but I don't know how, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it worse, And so here's just my advice for trying to help out a friend. Create a safe word with your friend, like panic or help. Well, maybe not help, because that could be whatever. Banana, something, just something where you guys know that that is your word for when your friend is getting really bad anxiety, or they're starting to get triggered, or something's going down and they need to like remove themselves from the situation and go calm themselves down and deal with their anxiety. That way you guys can communicate without anyone, like, without making a big deal about it. You can just be like, hey, banana, and you guys can like go dip off to the bathroom or dip off to the car, go find a private spot where you guys can just like talk. You can have like a space for your friend where they don't feel like, but I mean, also ask them where they feel like they want to go, because sometimes like a car or a bathroom might be like a bad spot for them. So figure it out with them. Figure out a safe word, figure out a go-to spot, um, figure out like just talk to your friend. That is the most important thing, is just talking to them beforehand and figuring out a plan for if that kind of thing happens. Ask them what they need. Don't be like, don't smother them, but at the same time, like, just quietly be like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, how are you doing? Like, what do you need? Is there anything I can get you? Like water or like a pillow? You want me to go? Like, you want me to give you some space? Like, what do you need from me? Do you need me to put like a movie on? Like some tea? Like, what do you need? You know? That's really like, for someone with anxiety, having a friend that can do that for you when you're having a fucking panic attack, I promise you're gonna be that person's best fucking friend. Like, guarantee it. Because they're gonna fucking love you if you can do this right. Major thing to remember, don't raise your voice. Keep a soft voice, keep a soft, friendly tone. Don't sound angry, don't get angry, don't yell. Definitely do not yell. Like, just keep a soft voice, like if you're talking to a kid almost, but, don't talk down to them at the same time. Just, keep a voice like this, like if you were leading yoga or something. Try and keep the vibe really chill and just bring down everything else, because if you're someone with anxiety and you see someone else getting anxiety, that's just gonna like raise your anxiety. Because if there's someone with anxiety and then your friend gets anxiety from your anxiety is gonna go up, and then your friend's anxiety is gonna go up, and then it's gonna just keep getting worse. You see what I mean? So, as the friend who is either not having the anxiety or panic attack, or as a friend who does not have anxiety disorder, it's your job to try and like create a calm environment for the person that is having that problem. To create a calm environment, ask them if they want things light or dark. Usually doing like candle lighting and stuff's good, or just like soft lighting of some kind, like kind of natural lighting or soft lighting, or if they can't do light at all, just lights off, like no lights. But sometimes that can also be a trigger for people. So again, talk to them. Give them some blankets. I mean, unless they're too hot, and then, but like, make sure there's blankets nearby, because sometimes you go through hot flashes where you're like hot and cold, you need blanket, and then you're like too hot for it. Pets really help. Pets are great distraction for when you're having anxiety. It's a good thing to pet. If you've got any fidget spinners or you've got slime or putty or something like that, that like some kind of thing for your hands to fidget with, give that to them. That will help because that's literally what those toys are designed for. See if that helps, and just make sure you don't tell them that they're fine and nothing's wrong, because that can be kind of belittling about their problem and their issues they're having. Just be like, hey, it's okay. I understand. You're just having anxiety right now. I mean, it's hard, but it comes in waves. It'll pass. It'll get better. You like it's hard right now. This sucks, but it does end, you know? So you can say that things are going to get better without being like, "Hey, there's nothing wrong." Cuz that's just like totally just wiping out what the fuck they're feeling in the same breath that you're trying to make them feel better. The most important thing you can do for them is try to distract them, get them laughing, get them smiling, you know. If they're in a spot where they can communicate like that, you know, just try and like tell them a funny story or something light. Just, you know, just keep things light and try and tell them like just like a funny story. Like
A puppy fell down the stairs and like he was fine. He like rolled over and hit his other puppy brother and whatever. I don't know.
you know, read Winnie the Pooh. Just something calm that'll make them laugh or smile or get like a physical response from them that is counteractive to the physical reactions that anxiety causes. You know, because when anxiety happens, you're just like, fuck, like you kind of shut down. And so if someone makes you laugh, you're just like, you know, like laughing is naturally relaxing. So getting someone to laugh when they're anxious is probably the best thing you can do. So now here's what I do when I get anxiety. Find a safe person. Find a friend that will do all that shit for you. And if you don't have a friend like that, there are online support groups and stuff. And I know that's not the same as having someone in person, but make that a goal for yourself to go out and find that person. And if you can't, go out and find a therapist. DBT therapists are super awesome, and they are on call for the most time at a moment's notice. So you could search for one of those. You could search for a personal care assistant if you are in that position where you need that. But, you know, just find someone who you can communicate how you're feeling with and who you can kind of like depend on when you need to. God, this tank top is like awesome, but also kind of cutting into my armpit chub.
Chub.
Find a safe person. If you can't find a safe person, find a safe place. Quiet, alone, safe, comfortable. It's like your domain, your area. If you can't do that, fucking create one. Lock yourself in a bathroom, lock yourself in a car, find a hotel, just something where you're like, this is mine and I have control over this area. Soft lighting, whatever your choice, either make it quiet or put on soft music or something. Like meditation music's great. There's tons of meditations. Here's Insight app. That's what I use for my meditations, and there is like literally thousands and thousands of meditations that have been recorded, and tons for anxiety and just all that kind of stuff. So it's awesome. Check it out. Blankets are good. So if you want to make your car your safe place, put some blankets in there. Just like create a little like emergency pack for yourself. You know, that kind of thing. So you just can be prepared. Like if you have medication, put your medication in there. You know, just whatever. Put like a Cliff Bar, put some water, whatever you're gonna need, you know? If you're at home and you start having a panic attack, I find it's really helpful to turn on like kids shows. Kids shows are super great, especially ones that are really funny. And if you're like into it, or, put on anime if you're more into that, or just like something funny. Turn something funny on TV, something light, and something that will kind of get your mind off things that you can kind of zone out on. Also, if you've got any pets around, bring your pets close. Or if you don't have any pets and you want to look into getting a therapy companion animal, definitely do that. I like highly suggest that. I've got Soul. She's my only official therapy animal. Actually, no, I did get Miso registered. So I've got two. I've got Miso and Soul. They're both my therapy pups, and they're amazing. Dogs especially have innate intuition about when people are upset or need like comforting, and so they're just super great about it. And lastly, make sure you've eaten something and you've hydrated, because that's also something that can set off anxiety. If you haven't eaten for a while, anxiety will happen. If you haven't drank water for a while and you start getting dehydrated, anxiety will happen, especially if you have an anxiety disorder. It can happen for people that don't, but again, really common if you have an anxiety disorder. If you guys want to help me out with trying to combat my anxiety, or my social anxiety anyway, my anxiety in general is a whole other shing. Shing?
Whole other shing. Shing.
Why can't I talk today? What the fuck? Why? It's a whole other thing though. So, if you guys want to do a meetup, just keep liking my videos, comment below, just, like really be interactive on my channel and show me that you guys want to do a meetup with me and you guys want to create a community here, because I'm really excited about it and I want to do it, but it's also about you guys. So I'm really hoping you guys also want that. I just want you guys to keep sharing your thoughts and feelings about everything on the videos. And I want to keep sharing my thoughts and feelings with you guys. So I want to keep making more videos like this where I just talk about shit that's like really important to me. And if you have any input or advice for anyone who's dealing with anxiety, or friends of people who have anxiety, drop it below. I would love any other input. Like, new ideas for dealing with anxiety are always helpful and always welcome. So, yeah, but that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye. See you tomorrow.